Hey there friends, today's Legally on America video may not be for some of you out there, but it's going to be for a lot of you out there, so bear with me. Those of you who follow my channel who are also members of Attorneys on Retainer policy, program, whatever you want to call it, regarding self-defense coverage that you might have. There are other coverages out there. I tell everybody all the time, it's your choice to choose whoever you think is best for you or your family, right? My job is not to sit here and convince you who to use, but I'm happy to tell you why I use the people that I do. A couple of things. Do I get paid by Attorneys on Retainer? Yes, I do. And I make no apologies about that. The thing is, I was a customer of theirs before they ever gave me a penny. Why? Because I felt like their program was the best program out there. And then guess what? As luck would have it, I became affiliated with them. And now we work together. And again, they do compensate me for promoting their programs on a monthly basis. But make no mistake, I am a guy who carries a firearm on my side every single day. I'm not going to flirt with protection for me and my family whenever it comes to protection of me using my firearm to protect me or my family. That's why I use and I chose Attorneys on Retainer, just so you guys know. It was a personal choice of mine, and again, the business association with them came later on. So it's very important you guys understand that. Not only were they the best program before, by far, this is my opinion. If you think otherwise, awesome. But now it's even better. I know those of you who chose AOR already are thinking, how did it get better? Well, you know, there were some things that even me personally, I didn't think other companies as a whole could successfully cover in the proper way. And again, I'm not going to get into the weeds on that, but I think you need to know that there were some things out there that some other coverages were limited on, and that included AOR. Well, AOR, being a group of very intelligent attorneys, figured out a way to provide us, and when I say us, I'm talking about people who carry firearms. Let's disassociate me for one moment as somebody who might receive a check from AOR and realize that that's the number I have to call in the event I have to use my firearm. So I'm not taking a chance with somebody just because they write me a check. My family's well-being is way more important to me, no offense to AOR, than the pennies that AOR might pay me on a monthly basis, right? You understand what I'm saying, right? Let me translate that. They can't pay me enough money just to use their service, right? If I felt like they were the wrong service, I'd take their money, but I would not be a member. I'm going to show you today through a walkthrough of me signing up for their new service. There's two ways to do it. Those of you who are existing AOR members, you guys will simply re-up, and you're going to upgrade your system is the best way to probably put it. You have to opt into the new program that they have implemented because it's a different type of program that allows AOR to include additional coverages, and I will provide you with that information, those details here in a second. So those of you who are existing members, remember, in order to become covered by all the new bells and whistles, you have to upgrade it. Now, the upgrade is free. Understand that. It is a free upgrade. And this is the crazy thing. Not only is the upgrade free for existing members, but your payment is going to be locked in for 5 years at that rate, even though they are increasing the coverage in the plan. I think that's a beautiful thing. They could very easily say, oh, we're upgrading our plan. It's going to cost you $10 more a month, $15 more a month, whatever the amount might be. No. They're locking you in till the year 2030. So upgrade for free. You just got to do it. You got to opt into the program. You are not automatically upgraded. It's important that you guys understand that, who are current and existing members, that you have to go through that upgrade process. Now, new members, what I did, because I knew for a couple of months that this program was coming, I let my coverage temporarily for a couple of weeks lapse so that I could go through the process and show you all that is a very quick, seamless process. I want you guys to understand that. So, This is to show you the simplicity of the new person signing up for the new program. Again, you upgrade, guys, it's going to be a fast, painless process. So just go through that process. We're talking minutes here, very few minutes. But let me walk you through this. Now, let me give you a couple of the upgrades. One of the coolest things, and I say this all the time because I don't like dealing with a jack of all trades. If a guy comes to fix my sink in my house, I don't want him to be the same guy who weed eats my yard, who cleans my pool, who works on my air conditioner, who does my taxes. To me, you can't be the best at one thing if you're busy doing everything. And that's one thing that Attorneys for Freedom, who is the main company, the attorney firm who AOR works from or is associated with, Attorneys for Freedom now has stopped doing all other types of legal work for other people, and they're focusing just on self-defense cases. Think about that for a minute. This is an attorney's firm that probably makes, I don't know the number, probably makes a whole lot of money, making money on different types of legal things. They've just decided that I don't want that revenue and that income because we're going to be the best at self-defense cases. So that's all we're going to take from now on. That to me was a big plus. I don't know if they look at that as an added benefit, but I certainly do. I see that as something that I'm calling the self-defense experts. Who is that? It's Attorneys on Retainer or Attorneys for Freedom. So I think that's a big deal. I think people might glaze over that pretty fast and realize, whatever. No, that is in fact a very big deal because these guys will be the best at that because that's all they do. So they're not going to be sidelined with all kinds of other silly little cases. This is their bread and butter. This is what they're going to be working on. So big deal to me. The other major upgrade to this system that makes it now rock solid, the best by far over any other similar policy in the United States, is the fact that they're going to have civil liability coverage. And here's the biggest kicker of all. They now have red flag and emergency order coverage up to $15,000. Now that civil liability coverage will be up to $100,000. Coverage to pay monetary damages in a civil lawsuit or optional higher limits are available. That's going to be coming soon if you want to pay for those optional higher limits. But you're automatically going to have with this upgraded system $100,000 of civil liability coverage. That red flag coverage is going to be up to $15,000. Now, what that red flag coverage is going to be, that's going to be dollars associated with recovering those, I'm going to say, confiscated, stolen firearms in the event that you're hit with a red flag case or an ERPO, extreme risk protection orders, what they call them in some states. You're going to have 15 grand going towards that, recovering those firearms. That's huge. That's huge because as these states, and depending on what administration is in play at that moment, the Biden administration was a big time proponent of red flag gun laws. You're going to see the federal government throw more bribe money at these states and get them to, using your tax dollars, bribe these states into implementing their own red flag gun laws. By doing that, they're going to be abused, not if, when they get abused, one of us, because our neighbor doesn't like us because we're either gun guys or something like that, now we're going to have some representation when it comes to that fake red flag gun law being called in on us because now AOR is going to protect us in that case up to the tune of 15 grand. So that is a big one for me. The civil liability thing and the red flag gun law thing, those are huge. Those would be, if I had an office that was selling AOR policies, I would have two big giant banners at my front door. One saying that we have coverage for, in this instance, red flag gun laws coverage and civil liability coverage. Those are two big things that would make me walk into that business and sign up at that very moment. Now, there are other added benefits to this upgraded program as well. Addition of expungement record clearing, addition of commercial affiliate program for AOR associated members, like you can actually refer people and get paid for it. So it's a pretty cool program for those of you out there who want to make a little side hustle. Addition of negligent training coverage for firearms and trainers. That's pretty cool. Addition of online self-defense training educational benefits. That's pretty neat too. Addition of legal advocacy to vindicate Constitution and business rights. Addition of pro bono legal advocacy in selected self-defense cases. And additional discounts on firearms, ammo, and related items. Many of these things are going to be coming soon. They may not be part of the program now, but they are added benefits that eventually will be a part of the program that you as a paid member will be able to take advantage of. Now let me take you through the sign-up process real quick, and I want to show you some key things. There are some things that you need to be aware of. Obviously, they already had my information in the system. As I told you, I was a member of AOR already. I let it lapse so that I could go through the new sign up, but they already had all my information. So you can see that the current plan that I was on was the National Self-Protection option. It was the individual plan. I prefer to pay annually, so it was the $357 cost for that annual fee. Once you get past that, you're going to see some of the member highlights that I just mentioned to you. Here you see that I've chosen the individual plan with the promo code FTATF. You got to use my code FTATF because when you do, you get that one-time sign-up fee. Look right below that. Knock 50 bucks off of that. So my sign-up fee would have been 100. Now it's 50 because I use the code FTATF. So make sure you use that code. Save your $50. Now there are some required activation steps, and the main one is that you're going to need to watch and acknowledge the explanation agreement video. It's going to go into way more detail, but it's essentially going to cover a lot of the things that I just explained to you, upgrade things. And not only that, some of the things that make this policy a doable thing. Because again, it is stepping outside the box from your normal type of coverage. It is not an insurance plan. You might see insured in some of the language, but this is not, make no mistake, not an insurance plan. This is a risk retention program. And it's more than what you had before with AOR when you were just being associated with an attorney firm. Again, risk retention is a much different box that you are now a part of, whereas before you may have been insurance or with AOR. Big difference, bigger. That's the reason you have to opt in, because it is a different type of plan altogether. You have to acknowledge that you understand what this new plan is and what it offers. And with this video, Mark Victor has put together, it's a lengthy video of an hour and plus to watch. But the good thing is that it not only explains the upgrades, but it also explains the things behind why this program can do what it does. It's important for me to know when I'm signing up for a different program that I understand why it's different and what those things might be. One of the things in Mark's video is it does mention, and I like the fact that it clarifies this, that if an AOR member in good standing satisfies the following 3 criteria, member is charged with or reasonably concerned about being charged with any state or federal criminal offense, the incident giving rise to the alleged or potentially alleged criminal offense entirely occurred after, that's common sense, but after becoming an active AOR member. Obviously, they're not going to cover you if you were not an AOR member prior to signing up. And number 3, self-defense or defense of a third party can be asserted in good faith as a legally sufficient, complete defense to the alleged or potentially alleged criminal offense. Bottom line is, if you can declare self-defense in the use of your firearm or whatever thing you use to defend yourself, if you can claim self-defense, these guys are going to cover you. Now, in Mark's video, he's going to go into much more detail about the risk retention group policy. So again, that's the importance of watching the video. I'm not going to bore you with all those details in my video. During this whole process, you will see all of the legal terms of your agreement. In fact, you will get this mailed to you as well once you sign up. Then you'll get to the payment screen if you're a new customer, and you simply enter in all your information, and then boom, now you are a member of AOR, and you get to take advantage of a little bit of peace of mind. And that's the whole reason this policy exists. The entire reason. Now, granted, Mark Victor and his guys like to make some money too. I'm a capitalist. I don't fault somebody or shame them for wanting to make money. But the reason why I'm a member of AOR has nothing to do with Mark Victor, his money, his attorneys, or my money or my attorneys. You know why I'm a member of AOR and why I selected them, why I chose them, and why I let them cover me for self-defense reasons? Because of this. My home, my family. I can't afford to lose everything that I've worked my ass off for my entire life. And I certainly don't want my wife to struggle because I did something either stupid or legally, and I had the wrong coverage. This is the right coverage, guys. Again, they're my choice. You saw I'm a member I'm a paid member. This came from my credit card. They're not even reimbursing me for my fees. I am paying for my membership. I paid for my previous membership. I just paid for this one. They pay me monthly to talk about their product, but they do not reimburse my $407. That's coming out of my bank account. And I do that willfully because I want the best coverage for me and my family. And you know what? I want the best coverage for you guys too. Go check them out. I'll have all the links down below. Go sign up. If you're already a member, remember, it's just a matter of going in there and upgrading to the new account system, the new risk retention group program. Once you do that, that's a much faster process than the initial sign up.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. It's over.